Let's talk Heated Rivalry. Hi, my name's Ryan. I'm a gymnast, and my courage project for 2026 is to speak more openly about sport. I personally was devastated by Heated Rivalry, so I want to talk about why I feel that way. I knew roughly kind of what happened, and then episode 5 destroyed me, and then episode 6 obviously destroyed me too. I couldn't figure out why it struck such a chord with me. So, amongst my 10,000 TikToks I researched and going on Reddit, it's this concept of an unlived life. I finished it Monday night, and when I tell you, on if I heard the song, if I heard a TikTok, I cried in the library 3 days later about it. I cried in the library on Thursday about it. For me, it really hit in a personal way and in a sport way, which I wasn't anticipating. I grew up in a very hockey heavy town, which was my main reluctance in watching this show is I don't love hockey culture, and hockey culture was never kind to me. So I was glad that whilst it's about hockey, it's not that much about hockey. But from what I'm gonna say research, but I'm gonna be honest, it was TikTok and Reddit, so take that with 20 grains of salt. It's this concept of an unlived life that hit me so hard, and that I can watch it on a personal aspect from like an LGBTQ point of view of you look back on your life and what it could have been or if it had been different. That part of you is nostalgic for, and that part of you realizes how much you missed out on, and that there's like an extreme grief with that. But it's funny, from doing this series about talking more about sport, I've been looking at a lot of my experiences through that lens now, and I look at their experience in sport and how disciplined they both are in different ways, and how much being excellent or the ways that they find control in their lives to control this other part of their experience, and their ways of controlling their lives through sport that they think is positive, but to me it's making up for this other aspect of their life in which they have no control, and that might feel out of control. And then it made me think about sport, and that we all have these unlived lives in sport. Again, I'm analyzing fictional characters here in a fictional storyline, but I think they're going to look back on their sporting careers and realize, Shane in particular, how much control he had over food and about his image, and how much of that control he gave up to his mom so that he didn't have to deal with it. That he might look back on that and realize that there might be some unlived moments within that too. And you can say the same thing about all the characters, but that's the one that sticks out to me the most. And particularly in sport, that there are so many moments that we wish had gone differently, or we look back on it with some nostalgia and some grief that maybe the dreams we held onto so tightly we had to let go of, and how do we grieve that life that we didn't live but that we thought we would, or that we really wanted to. So yeah.